All right, folks, it's game time here on the Game Time Sports Network, and we're ready for more TCCAA softball tournament action here. As you can see on the live stream, appreciate everybody joining us here, that the coaches are now meeting with the umpires and getting themselves together. This was scheduled for the 3 o'clock game. We're going to get started a little bit early here since we are ahead right now. This is the winner's bracket. So both teams remain undefeated in this bracket so far. And for the visiting Dyersburg Eagles, they're coming in at as a 4 seed. The Pioneers out of Volunteer State, they are the 1 seed right now. So this is how we're going to do battle today, as you see the umpires now going through the details on the field. So winner here will move on to the next game on Monday at 3 o'clock. So tomorrow at 3 o'clock, winner will play. The team losing today will play Jackson State tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. So they'll have the first game tomorrow here in the elimination bracket, as we're going to call that. So this ought to be a good game. 1-4 in the seeds with the matchup, and let's go over the starting lineups here. First for the visiting Eagles, they're coached by Dusty Rhodes. They're going to start off with their right fielder, number 6, Jazz Watkins, and then batting second, the shortstop, Madison Lanier. Batting third, the first baseman, number 8, Brooklyn Davidson. In the cleanup spot, the center fielder, number 18, Jada Moore. In the circle, batting fifth, number 5, Ella Chilton. Batting sixth, the designated player, number 3, Ellen Adair. Left fielder, Blair Riley. She wears 13. She'll bat seventh. Batting eighth, your second baseman, Caitlin Cotton. She wears 4. And rounding out the batting order, the catcher, number 22, Macy Calhoun. In the flex position here for the second baseman, third baseman, number 28, Kinley Melton. As you hear public address announcer Jay, you're used to hearing him on the Game Time Sports Network. Him and I are going to swap roles for today. I've been doing the PA, as you guys are aware, up until this point. So we're doing a little flip-flopping here. So that's the Dyersburg Eagles. Watkins, Lanier, Davidson, Moore, Chilton, Adair, Riley, Cotton, Calhoun. And now for the home Pioneers or Volunteer State. Defensively, they will go left field, Caitlin Dillard, and center field, Abby Merle. In right field, Anaya Dawson. Around the horn, they'll go Maddie Shitten at third. Shortstop, number 29, Mally Grizzle. Second baseman, Alyssa Dixon. Over at first, Maddie Goad. Behind the plate, Kylie Irwin. And in the circle, Caitlin Davis. Kirsten Smith, who wears number 9, she'll be the DP. So in a batting order, they'll go Dixon, Merle, Grizzle, Shinton, Goad, Dawson, Dillard, Irwin, and Smith. So those are your starting lineups. We appreciate everyone joining us here on the Game Time Sports Network. This is the 7th game we've done here in these next 2 games, and we'll talk about the word of the game. If you send that info at the Game Time Sports Network, we'll talk about that earlier. Let's listen in to public address announcer Jay with the starting lineups here.
And playing first base, it's number 8, Brooklyn Davidson. Batting fourth in the cleanup spot and playing center field, it's Jada Moore. Batting fifth and pitching in the pitcher circle, it's Ella Chilton. Batting sixth, it's the designated player, number 3, Ellen Adair. Batting seventh, the left fielder, number 13, Blair Riley. Batting eighth and playing second base, number 4, Caitlin Cotton. Batting ninth, it's the catcher, Macy Calhoun, number 22. And in the flex position, the third baseman, Kinley Melton, number 28. We now welcome the home team. That would be the number 1 seed, Volunteer State Lady Pioneers. They are led by head coach Christian Lynn and assisted by Alyssa Cosley. Leading things off, it's their second baseman, number 15, Alyssa Dixon. Batting second, it's the center fielder, Abby Merle. Batting third and playing shortstop, number 29, Mally Grizzle. Batting fourth, it's the third baseman, double zeros her number, Maddie Shenton. Batting fifth and playing first base, number 5, Maddie Goad. Batting sixth and playing right field, number 1, Anya Dawson. Batting seventh, playing left field, number 2, Caitlin Dillard. Batting eighth and behind the plate, catching number 7, Kylie Irwin. Batting ninth and the designated player, it's number 9, Kirsten Smith. And in the pitcher circle, number 19, Caitlin Davis. There you have your starting lineups, ladies and gentlemen. It is time to play ball.
All right, thank you, Jay. You heard the starting lineups here. Let's look defensively here as the Pioneers are taking the field. They'll go Dillard, Caitlin Dillard, Abby Merle, and Anaya Dawson in the left, from left to right. Defensively, around the horn, Maddie Shenton, Maddie Grizzle, Alyssa Dixon, and Maddie Goad from third to first, respectively. Behind the plate, Kylie Irwin, and in the circle, Caitlin Davis. As we're doing the warm-ups here, appreciate everybody on the Game Time Sports Network. We're going to talk about the word of the day later on during the game. What is the word of the day, you say? Well, if you send an email, info@gametimesportsnetwork.com, when we come up with the word of the day, if you send that to the inbox there, we're not going to spam you with a bunch of stuff, but you have a chance to win a $200 it'll be a camera along with some other Game Time Sports Network swag, and so it'll be well worth your while. As we're ready to get started here, leading off for the Eagles will be the right fielder, Jazz Watkins.
Dyersburg State Lady Eagles, it's their right fielder, number 6, Jazz Watkins.
Watkins strolls in. She grounded to third, doubled, came around to score, flew out to short, and singled and come around to score in the game yesterday over Roan State as she takes that first pitch on the outside part of the plate for a strike. Davis in the circle is set, kicks and fires. The 0-1 delivery, a hot shot over to the third base. It's going to get into left field for a single. And right away, the Eagles coming up with their first hit of the game, and that'll bring up the shortstop.
Number 14, the shortstop,
Madison Lanier. Yesterday over Roan State, Madison walked her first 2 times up, came around to score, struck out her third time, and then flew the short. Officially 0 for 2 on the day, but she did score in that victory. Again, Dyersburg defeated Roan State 8-2 to get to this part. She hits one back up the middle into center field, and just like that, the Eagles have come to play as they sent their first 2 up to bat and have delivered with hits first and second there for the Eagles. That'll bring up Brooklyn Davidson, the first baseman.
Stepping into the batter's box.
Still nobody out.
Number 8,
the umpiring
Brooklyn
crew, as you
Davidson.
see, with 3 umpires. They are signaling that the infield fly is in effect with less than 2 outs and runners at first and second as Davidson takes the first pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. Davis works pretty quickly, has got the sign, comes set, and delivers the 0-1 pitch. Swung back up the middle off Davis's glove, but slows it up enough for Dixon to come clean with it, flips it over to Grizzle for the out. So that will go 1-4-6 if you're scoring with me at home, and that'll bring up the center fielder, Jada Moore. A little conversation happening right now with Dusty Rhodes and the center field and his center fielder.
It's number 18, the center fielder, Jada Moore.
Runners at the corners here for the Eagles. Watkins over at third. Lanier at first. Davis steps off the rubber there for a second. Recenters herself, comes set, and delivers. In there for a strike, says the very deliberate umpire with his calls. Nothing in one the count. No score if you're just joining us here. This is the winner's bracket. Winner will set themselves up nicely if they can come away with a victory, as Moore takes the second pitch in there for a strike, takes a long walk in between pitches, so nothing in two the count. Davis kicks and fires the 0-2 delivery outside. That'll push the count to 1-2. We expected this to be a good game with the winner's bracket, and so far there's a lot of noise going on between both benches, as there is a lot of cheering going on. The 1-2 delivery just off the plate. That'll even the count at 2-2. Gorgeous day here in southern Tennessee for the TCCAA action. Swung on and hit foul at the plate. We'll do it again. While we have a chance, we'll talk about the grounds crew have done a fantastic job of keeping this place ship-shape. The 2-2 delivery now from Davis. Swung on, hot shot over, but foul down the third base line. Will remain 2-2 and do it all over again. If you've been around the TCCAA, you know the leadership around this conference is fantastic. And they have really done a good job of putting on this venue here. Swung on over to the first baseman. She's going to come home with it, and they're going to get the tag. Or are they? They are. Now the tag, so it looks like the catcher, Irwin, had dropped the ball and hadn't officially tagged per the umpire. So they're going to go 3-2 on the putout for the second out of the game. So now Christian Lynn wants to talk it over with his defense, as we have runners at first and second. There are 2 out in the inning. And that'll bring up the pitcher, Ella Chilton. So that was a 3-2 put out if you're scoring with me at home on the tag.
Now batting for Dyersburg State, it's number 5, the pitcher, Ella Chilton.
And the win over Roan State, Ella Chilton went 3 for 4 with a run scored and reached on an error. She pops the first pitch up to the shortstop, and that will retire the side. The Eagles threatened, but come away empty. We played a half inning, no score. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, the Pioneers will be up to bat here.
In 1967, West Tennessee's first community college opened its doors. In the decades since, graduates have made a name for themselves as healthcare professionals, community leaders, business owners, veterans, educators, and so much more. With 3 generations of Jackson State graduates leading the way, the future has never looked brighter for West Tennessee. We are your community college. We are Jackson State.
Welcome back as you're watching TCCAA action here, live streaming on the Game Time Sports Network. You can always email us at info@GameTimeSportsNetwork.com. We'll move to the bottom of the first inning. First 3 due up for the Pioneers: Alyssa Dixon, Abby Merle, and Mally Grizzle. First three due up. Let's set the defense here for the Dyersburg Eagles. They'll have Blair Riley, Jada Moore, Jazz Watkins from left to right, respectively. Around the horn, Kinley Melton, Madison Lanier, Caitlin Cotton, and Brooklyn Davison from third to first. Behind the plate, Macy Calhoun, and in the circle, Ella Chilton will be hurling for Dyersburg State. Eagles and Pioneers doing battle. Eagles defeated Rome State 8-2. Volunteers handled Cleveland State 18-4. And now we're ready. The bottom of the first inning here. The second baseman.
The Lady Pioneers will send up their leadoff hitter, the second baseman, number 15, Alyssa Dixon.
You just heard the familiar voice of Jay Harper, who you guys are normally used to listening to. Appreciate you guys joining us on the Game Time Sports Network. Chilton delivers over but low with the first pitch. 1-0 the count on the Pioneers' second baseman. The corners are coming in defensively with Dixon's speed. The lefty, kind of a slap hitter here, so she can lay one down at any given moment, so you've got to be careful with her. Chilton with the delivery. Off speed with it, must have been high. Runs the count to 3-0. Now, Chilton with the sign. Kicks and fires the 3-0. And on four straight, Dixon scampers to first.
Now stepping into the batter's box, it's number 77, the center fielder, Abby Merle.
Abby Merle. Now she walked, got a stolen base, scored, tripled and scored, walked, and then reached on an error and then came around to score in the 18-4 victory over Cleveland State yesterday. So she was extremely active on the base pass as she takes that first one in there from Chilton for a strike. Runner at first is Dixon. Chilton kicks and fires the 0-1 delivery. Throw down the first. Good quick throw by Calhoun, but Dixon was back in time. The 1-1 delivery. Swung on and fisted foul. It'll go out of play, and it'll push the count to 1-2 strikes on the Pioneer center fielder. Again, winner moves on to play, or to 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon to play in the winner's bracket. Hit back up the middle towards the second baseman. She can't come up with it. Cotton, it hit off the bottom of her glove. Everyone will remain safe. It'll go as an infield hit. I think I'm looking over at Richard. He hasn't decided yet. Yes, he says it's an infield hit, so we'll have runners at first and second. The umpiring crew who have done such a great job so far have indicated that we are now in the infield fly in effect. And so Mally Grizzle will be due up now. First pitch in there for a strike from Chilton. Chilton works very quickly. A good pitcher who handles the bat well in addition to that. The 0-1. Swung on and fisted foul. 0-2 the count. If you're just joining us, the Eagles threatened in the top of the first inning but came away empty. And already here in the bottom of the first, the Pioneers are posing a threat as well. The 0-2 delivery, fisted foul again will do it, and we're keeping the ball boys hopping outside of here as they're going to retrieve those foul balls for us to keep the action going. Chilton with the 0-2 delivery. Again staying alive is Grizzle. Grizzle Reached on an error twice yesterday, came around and scored and walked twice. Swung on and lifted into center field. Jada Moore takes a step back, comes in, and makes the catch. F8 on the catch if you're scoring with me at home, and that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, the third baseman, numbers 00, Maddie Shinton.
00, Maddie Shinton.
First and second here with one out. Bottom of the first inning. If you're just joining us, Maddie Shinton grounded to short. Struck out, but the ball was dropped, and so she made it to first base and came around to score. Grounded to the pitcher, and then doubled in her 4 trips yesterday, but scored twice. Swung on and hit right back towards the screen. She's on it, just a little underneath it. That'll even the count at 1-1. The delivery in there for a strike. Chilton worked the inside part of the plate, moved it from the outside to the inside. So good movement there on that pitch. Called for a strike. 1-2 the count now on the cleanup hitter for the Pioneers in Maddie Shinton. The delivery inside. It might have grazed the uniform, and it did, so we're going to call that a hit by pitch. And just like that, the bases are now full of Pioneers.
Into the batter's box, it's the first baseman, number 5, Maddie Goad.
Maddie Goad now the first baseman for the Pioneers. One out in the inning, nowhere to put Goad. Chilton's got to work, come after her. And Goad takes the first pitch in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. Ducks on the pond for Goad. Let's see if she can deliver. The 0-1. Swung on and hit back out of play. Chilton ahead now 0-2. The 0-2 delivery. Took something off of that, the off speed. It remained high. 1-2 the count. Again, winner moves on in the winner's bracket to play tomorrow. Loser will play tomorrow morning, first game. Outside with that delivery. Chilton now pushes the count to 2-2. Winner gets to sleep in tomorrow and have a game at 3 o'clock in the winner's bracket. Loser has to be here early in the morning at 10 a.m. for game 1. And Chilton delivers the K.
Now batting, it's the right fielder, number 1, Anya Dawson.
Anya or Anaya, I can't remember. I was told Anaya, I believe, is what it is. And she will take the first pitch in there from the strike from Chilton. And now Chilton, who got herself in a little bit of a pickle, is on the verge of working herself out of this. Nowhere to put another Pioneer. The bases are full of Pioneers. The 0-1 delivery from Chilton is swung on and fisted into left field. That's trouble. And it is in the corner, rounding around. 1 run will score, 2 runs will score, 3 will score, and a bases clearing triple off the bat of Anaya Dawson. And the 3 RBI delivery.
The next batter, the left fielder, number 2, Caitlin Dillard.
Caitlin Dillard now the left fielder coming up, and Chilton was on the verge of getting out of that one, but Dawson deposited that pitch into the left field corner and promptly delivered 3 ducks on the pond for the Pioneers. Dillard grounded the pitcher, reached on an error in her 2 plate appearances yesterday. In that victory, she takes that pitch in there for a strike. Quickly, 0-2 on the Pioneer left fielder. Chilton with the sign, delivers the 0-2. Swung on and hit into the dugout. Watch out as it kind of rattles around in there. Almost took Kylie Irwin, the catcher, who's on deck, but catchers, I'll tell you, they're a different breed. They're the toughest on the diamonds there. The 0-2. Tried to check her swing, and she did check. No appeal down the third base. It'll be called a ball. 1-2 the count now. Chilton kicks and fires the 1-2. Oh, she went, and down on strikes go Diller, but not before the Pioneers. Plate 3. 3 runs on 1 big hit. No errors.
Dyersburg State.
And 1 left on base. We played 1 inning. 3-0. Volunteer State. We'll take a quick break and come back for more TCCAA action here on the Game Time Sports Network.
As a first-generation college student, estaba un poco nerviosa. I knew I would need extra support, but I didn't know where to find it. At Roan State, I have a success coach to help me with every step along the way. Para más información, visita la página roanstate.edu.
Road at Dave Hall Field as well.
Welcome back here to Lady Charger Field on the campus of Columbia State. Eddie Campbell Field, as you can see. Kylie Irwin just throwing down. And we're ready to get going here, top of the second inning.
Leading off this inning, it's the designated player, number 3, Ellen Adair.
As you heard Jay Harper announce, Ellen Adair leading off for the Eagles. Davis in the circle, kicks and fires. First pitch over, but inside. On the designated player for the Eagles. The 1-0 delivery working again inside is Davis. 2-0 the count to Ellen Adair. Ellen grounds that one to short. Up with it is Lanier, over to Davidson in time for the out. 6-3 on the putout.
The next batter for the Lady Eagles, it's their left fielder, number 13, Blair Riley.
Blair Riley now due up. Blair walked, singled, struck out in her 3 appearances yesterday in the Roan State victory as she takes that first pitch in there for a strike. We expected this game to be a good one, and so far it has delivered the billing. Swung on and missed there. 0-2 the count. Davis, who works quickly, is ready. The 0-2 just off the plate. Catcher Irwin was set up on the outside part of the plate, but just outside is what we call the river. That's the edge of the plate and the chalk that you see in there as that one's fisted into center field. Up with it cleanly is Moore, but a solid single up the middle by Blair Riley. That'll bring up the second baseman, Caitlin Cotton.
The next batter for the Lady Eagles, the second baseman, number 4, Caitlin Cotton.
Caitlin struck out, grounded to first, singled in her 3 appearances. That one's hit over to the first baseman in for a double play. So 3-4 on the double play if you're scoring with me at home. And just like that,
we will now move to the
Eagles
of the second inning.
No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. We played an inning and a half. Let's stay here. And folks, excuse me there. You've heard Jay talk about, if you've been listening the last couple of days, about our word of the day. When I give you the word of the day, email info@GameTimeSportsNetwork.com. That's info@GameTimeSportsNetwork.com. Jay has put together a nice care package that includes a camera, an insulated cup, and all kind of Game Time Sports Network swag. And guys, you guys really want to be a part of that. I mean, he doesn't even give me this stuff, and he pays me to help him out, and I'm part of the staff, and I don't even get this stuff. So you guys are getting some really top-notch treatment here from Jay Harper. So you need it. When I give you the word of the day, make sure you're emailing that there. We're not going to spam your email with a bunch of stuff because, trust me, I'm the world's worst at hating on companies that do this. And I would relentlessly get on Jay if I got a bunch of that stuff as well. But Jay does not do that. So you definitely want to be a part of that as we go to the bottom of the second inning. I'll give you that word of the day here at about the midway point of the game.
Off the inning for the Lady Pioneers, it's their catcher, number 7, Kylie Irwin.
That'll bring up the catcher, Kylie Irwin. 8-9-1 due up here for the Volunteers, who already lead it 3-0. Chilton delivers a little high, 1-0 the count. In fact, I'm trying to get Jay to give me the word of the day, but he won't give it to me even earlier. So this is top secret stuff, guys. So you definitely want to pay attention to the rest of this broadcast here. That one delivery is high, 2-0 the count. On the Pioneer catcher. The 2-0 delivery. Just a little outside, run the count to 3-0. Hitters count there for Irwin, who handles the bat well. She flew to center and walked twice in her 3 at-bats yesterday. The 3-0 in there for a strike. Thought it was ball forward. She flipped the bat away, and the umpire said, "Not so fast, young lady. Come back." 3-1 the count. Swung on and fisted foul, and now we've got a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here in the bottom of the second inning. Again, great staff around here. Folks are just so nice in the TCCAA. Hit into center field. Irwin serves that deposit into center field for a hit. And that'll bring up the number 9 hitter, the designated player, Kirsten Smith, who coincidentally, she also wears number 9 as a jersey.
The next batter, the designated player, number 9, Kirsten Smith.
Appreciate everybody joining us on the Game Time Sports Network. Live stream action. If you're familiar with the Game Time Sports, you know as Smith takes that first pitch in there for a strike, you know the Game Time Sports brings you all kinds of action. Volleyball, basketball, baseball, softball, and even fishing. In there for a strike again is Chilton. Nothing into the count. Runner at first, nobody out here. Swung on and missed. Chilton comes back and flexes her muscles and And that'll bring up Alyssa Dixon, who
Now
walked
batting,
and came
it's
around
the
to
second
score.
baseman, number 15, Alyssa Dixon.
Dixon walked, came around to score on Anaya Dawson's bases clearing triple. That's how we've gotten this score here as Dixon takes the first pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. That one big hit accounted for all 3 runs, and that's where we stand right now, 3-0. Hit back up the middle. Dixon serves that one into center field, so back-to-back singles, sandwiching the strikeout. And that'll bring up Abby Merle, who singled and came around to score her first time up. Merle tripled and walked twice and then reached on an error. Scored 3 runs yesterday in their victory over Cleveland State. Some discussion going on right now. I believe it's a coach-to-player timeout on the offensive side.
The next batter for
They're allowed
the
1
Lady
per inning or
Pioneers,
1 per half
center
inning.
fielder, number 77, Abby Merle.
So Abby Merle squares the bunt, fouls it back and out of play. 0-1 the count. Runner at first and second right now. Off of the Kylie Irwin and Alyssa Dixon singles. That's where we are here in this second inning. The Pioneers looking to add to their 3-0 lead already. The 0-1 delivery squares the bunt again as she goes. Throw down the first, but back in time is Dixon. It'll be 0-2 the count. Most likely, I don't want to say that because it'll happen, Abby Merle won't be squaring the bunt with 2 strikes, because if you foul it 2 strike, that's a strikeout. So typically no one ever bunts with 2 strikes. As she reaches up as a slap hitter, fouls it off again, 0-2, and we'll do it all over again with the runners at first and second. 1 away here in the bottom of the second. Hit back up the middle again. Good piece of hitting by Merle, who hit it right back where it came from. And that will load the bases for the Pioneer shortstop, number 29, Mally Grizzle.
The shortstop, Mally Grizzle.
Mally Grizzle was held hitless yesterday, but she scored 3 times after reaching on 2 errors and a walk. Or she walked twice and reached on 2 errors. So on-base percentage was 4 out of 4, but officially 0 for 2 on the day with 2 runs scored. 1-0 the count now. Chilton working quickly, delivers. Hit back up the middle again. The shortstop, Lanier, stops the ball. It squirts over to Cotton, who picks it up, and she had her foot on the bag, and so that'll be the second out of the inning. So we're going to call that 6-4 on the force. The run will score. Irwin scores the 4th run of the game. And there are 2 outs in the inning. There's some discussion now with the umpire. I don't know what the discussion was. The second baseman who came up with the ball, clearly had the ball in her hand with a foot on the bag. The call was out, and she is out. They discussed it, and I think it's the correct call. Definitely good for the umpires to get together like that. Coaches have a question. Hey, let's get together and figure it out.
Is the third baseman, number 00, Maddie Shinton.
Maddie Shinton, the third baseman for the Pioneers, now due up. She was hit by a pitch and came around to score. She scored on the Dawson triple her last time up. Runners at first and third Now here it is 4-0 by the Pioneers. Pitch on the outside part of the plate and just off, so we're going to call it 1-0 the count here on Shenton. Chilton kicks and fires the 1-0. Swung on and fisted foul and backing out of play. That'll even the count at 1-1. Pioneers, talking to them before the game, they're awfully confident. They said here, they came here to only play 4. And W's is all they are seeking. Hit into left field there by Shenton. Solid single. And that'll be another RBI.
Now stepping into the batter's box, it's the first baseman, number 5, Matty Go.
Matty Go now the first baseman for the Pioneers, and now Dyersburg will come out, the coaching staff, and talk to Chilton. Here it is 5-0 Pioneers. So that confidence, there's a reason for that confidence there by the Pioneers, because they're certainly delivering so far in this game. But to be fair to Chilton, she was nearly out of the inning in the first before Dawson deposited that triple into the left field corner. And I think this is just a pep talk to go, hey, you're pitching well. They're just on it right now.
Once again, the batter, number 5, Matty Go.
So Matty Go will dig back in. Runners at first and second. There are 2 out in the inning. Pioneers have already plated 2. Another hit here could make it interesting. On the outside part of the plate for Chilton. That 5-6 run deficit here, you start getting into the comeback thing. It's early in the game, so there's plenty of time to come back. You don't want to get too high or too low at these. You still got a lot of softball to play. But once it gets north of that 5-run deficit, it really makes it difficult for a team to come back in. So if you're the Eagles right now, you want to slam the door shut on this and get out of this inning. The 0-2 delivery. Off speed. Must have been a little high. 1-2 the count. Goad struck out her first time up. Fouled that one backing out of play. She was on it, just fouling it straight back. Whenever you see those fouling straight back, you can tell that the batter is on it speed-wise. It's just a matter of being underneath it. Chilton with the sign, kicks and fires the 1-2 delivery. Swung on and hit foul. We'll do it again. Five nothing Pioneers here in the bottom of the second. Fouled off, backing out of play. This ballpark is, fans are really right close to you, so a real intimate ballpark. Love the setting here. The 1-2 delivery. Swung on again. A good battle going on between Goad and Chilton here. One ball and 2 strikes the count. And here's the delivery. Swung on and hit into left field. Up with it is the left fielder, Riley. She's going to cut it off, and another run's going to score. Go delivers an RBI signal.
The next batter is the right fielder, number 1, Anaya Dawson.
Anaya Dawson, who deposited a triple into the left field corner her first time up. And it looks like we're going to have a pitching change here.
Now, coming in to pitch for Dyersburg State, it's number 43, Kylie Chapman.
Kylie Chapman will now come in on relief of Chilton. Kylie Chapman now coming in relief. Some discussion of whether she's going to hit for Chilton, but if she's coming as a direct replacement, I believe, since she was in the 5-hole with Chilton, that she will have to bat as well. So Chilton's day, I believe, is done. So the Pioneers have put crooked numbers up here in both of innings.
Again, the batter, number 1, Anaya Dawson.
That'll bring up Anaya Dawson. 3 in the first, and so far 3 in the second for the Pioneers. Chapman delivers outside, 1-0 the count. Dawson could really open this game up here if she was able to get on. Just off the plate with that pitch, 2-0 the count. The Pioneers, the number 1 seed coming in here, and you can see why. On the outside part of the plate with that one, Chapman delivers a strike, 2-1 the count. The 2-1 from Chapman. Off the plate again, 3-1. Chapman trying to tease that outside part of the plate, but Dawson with a good eye here is not going after it. Chapman with the sign, kicks and fires the 3-1. Off the plate, and Dawson will scamper down the first with a walk, and that'll load the bases back up for Caitlin Dillard, who struck out her first time up. But I think we're going to have a pinch hitter. Jordan Lucas will pinch hit.
Now batting, pinch hitting, number 12, Jordan Lucas.
Jordan Lucas came in yesterday and hit a home run yesterday. Takes the first pitch in there for a strike. Her pinch hitting yesterday proved to be a smart move by Christian Lynn. We'll see what happens today. The 0-1 delivery swung on, fouled at the plate. 0-2 the count. You see the umpire going out to the plate. It looked like the catcher took a little bit of that one off of that foul tip, and the umpire doing the unwritten rule, the sportsman thing of giving the catcher just a couple of extra seconds to kind of compose herself as she took that foul ball. The 0-2 delivery just fouled down the first base line here. That was close, folks. As you saw on that, right down the line, that could have been trouble. Nothing into the count here with 2 outs. Pioneers threaten to really blow this one open. Chapman with the 0-2 delivery. Swung on a hit to the third baseman. She steps on the bag and ends the inning, so 5 unassisted. And that'll be 3 runs on 5 hits. No errors and 3 left on base. We played 2 innings. We'll go to the top of the second inning. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have more TCCAA action here on the Game Time Sports Network. We'll be back in a minute.
Walters State. Our story is focused on student success. We're dedicated to creating an environment where our students can thrive, both in and outside of the classroom. So, what do you want to study? Pick a program. We've got over 150 of them. Some are transfer programs that prepare you to transition to a 4-year school after you graduate. We also have regionally and nationally recognized programs that immediately make you career ready. Visit us at ws.edu or give us a call to get started today. Write your story at Walters State.
Welcome back here. As you saw that commercial from Walters State, appreciate all of the TCCAA teams there sending that stuff in there so we can highlight those.
We're streaming live on Game Time Sports Network right now for this game.
All these schools provide good 2-year schools here as they're throwing down. And now we're moving to the top of the third inning.
Baseball tournament on the campus of Columbia State.
We're here at Eddie Campbell Field on the campus of Columbia State. Top of the third inning. The Eagles will send up 9-1-2. First 3 due up for Dusty Rhodes' Eagles out of Dyersburg State. Macy Calhoun takes that inside, but they're going to say that it hit her. May have grazed the uniform here. But it goes as a hit by pitch regardless, and that'll bring up
we are back to the
Jazz Watkins,
who the right fielder, number 6, Jazz Watkins.
Jazz Watkins hit a single back up her first time up here, and so the Eagles with the top of the order ready to do battle as Watkins takes that first pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. 6-0 Pioneers here in the top of the third. Hit to the first baseman. She kicks it over to the shortstop for 1. And that'll be a 3-6 on the putout. 1 out in the inning, and that'll bring up Madison Lanier.
The shortstop, number 14, Madison Lanier.
So Madison Lanier singled her first time up. She's hit by a pitch. So 2 hit by pitch batters here in the top of the third inning. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Brooklyn Davidson, who grounded to a pitcher to second. And then it went 1-4-6, so pitcher to the second baseman off of the ball was hit off the pitcher, slowed down. The second baseman picked it up and flipped it over to the shortstop.
Brooklyn Davidson.
Her first time up, so the pitcher stopped that one from going into center field, or it could have been dangerous. It would have been a hit for the Eagles, so good play there by Davis in the first time against Davidson. 1-0 the count. Davis kicks and fires the 1-0 delivery. Fisted foul back and out of play. That'll even the count at 1-1. Runners at first and second here in the top of the third inning. Eagles need to scratch off at least one here to start crawling back into this game. Davidson takes that one in there for a strike. 1-2 the count here on the Eagle first baseman. Davis kicks and fires. Outside, throw down the first, but back in time was Lanier. 2-2 the count to Davidson. Davis kicks and fires and delivers. Swung on and missed. Took something off of that one with the off-speed pitch. Good pitch call right there.
Now batting for Dyersburg State, the center fielder, number 18, Jada Moore.
Jada Moore, who grounded to first her first time up. Outside. Interesting, Chilton now due up. So they must have moved Chilton to the DP position. We'll have to see how they are maneuvering this one. Over but out and just outside with that one as Moore takes her extended walk between pitches. The 2-0 delivery. In there for a strike. 2-1 the count. The 2-1. Swung on and hit foul back and out of play. That'll even up the count to Moore. 2-2. Two outs here in the top of the second inning. The 2-2. Hit to the third baseman, but it's going to go foul. We'll do it again. The count remains 2-2. Like we said, the winner will move on to play tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Hit back up the middle off the glove of Davis, and everyone will be safe. It'll go as an infield hit. I believe that's what Richard is going to call. And he gave me the affirmative nod.
Now stepping up to the plate, number 5, Ella Chilton.
Ella Chilton, who flew to short her first time up, and now there's some discussion about how she's coming back in the game. I think Dusty Rhodes has to do some explaining with the home plate umpire. So we just got the explanation from the home plate umpire. He said 5 will re-enter the game. Swung on and fisted, foul back and out of play. So I assume then that Chilton will come back in the pitch. In my understanding, that's the way it should be. Swung on and missed by Chilton. The count will be 0-2 now. And down on strike, go Chilton.
At the end of the top of the third, we now
The
move
Eagles
to
threaten, but come away
the bottom
empty.
of the third inning.
We'll go
With
to the bottom of the
Lady
third
Pioneers
inning.
on top, 6-0.
Score remains
Again,
6-0
if you're getting home,
Pioneers.
We have got you covered with the concession stand.
Well, let's
right
take a quick
below
break
the
here,
bottom of the press
and
box.
we'll be back in
Those
just a
folks would
few
love to
minutes.
say hello
Listen
to
to
you.
some words from our sponsors.
Food and
In 1967, West Tennessee's first community college opened its doors. In the decades since, graduates have made a name for themselves as healthcare professionals, community leaders, business owners, veterans, educators, and so much more. With 3 generations of Jackson State graduates leading the way, the future has never looked brighter for West Tennessee. We are your community college. We are Jackson State.
All right, folks, welcome back here on the Game Time Sports Network. Email us at GameTimeSportsNetwork.com, info at GameTimeSportsNetwork.com. And we move to the bottom of the third inning. And, Jay, I'm still waiting on Jay to give me the word of the day. And, oh, boy. So he's giving me guys, I have moved up in the world here. I get free reign
pitching for Dyersburg State,
to come up with something.
Haley Cisco.
So Haley Cisco due up. She's number 7, actually. That's Kylie Irwin who's up, and she promptly hits that first pitch into the gap. She's got her pocketbook and going shopping at the gap here as Kaylee Irwin deposits that double.
Lady Pioneers, Kylie Irwin, the catcher, just doubles, and now the batter, the designated player.
Kirsten Smith
It's
now.
number 9, Kirsten Smith.
So let's get that word of the game here. So the pitcher steps on the rubber, but that's not the word. We're going to go with circle. The pitcher pitches out of the circle, so your word of the game is circle. Email info at GameTimeSportsNetwork.com, the word circle, and you'll be eligible for the drawing of the camera and all kind of goodie bags. Stealing second is Kylie Irwin, and she is safe over at third base. The count is 2-0 to Kirsten Smith. And the delivery from Haley Cisco, who came in relief. Haley Cisco is now in the circle for the Eagles. Haley Cisco in the circle for the Eagles, and circle our word of the game. So email that info at Game Time Sports Network to be eligible for the drawing of that big goodie bag. Smith coaxes a walk.
Stepping up to the plate, it's the top of the order, the second baseman, number 15, Alyssa Dixon.
We'll go back to the top of the order. Dixon, who walked her first time up and came around to score, then singled and came around to score. She's been on twice and scored both times. 6-0 Pioneers, and they're threatening again with runners at the corners and nobody out. Jay tells me in addition to was out. Oh, is in there for a strike. 0-2. In addition to the camera, which is valued at over $200, there's going to be other swag from Game Time Sports Network that'll be thrown in there. Probably a Yeti-like cup along with some other goodies. Fisted into left field, but right at the left fielder, Riley. Riley has it. Tagging at third is Kylie Irwin.
The next batter, the center fielder, number 77, Abby Merle.
So Alyssa Dixon flies to left field. Deep enough for Irwin to tag and score. It's now 7-0. And that'll bring up Abby Merle, who's singled both times up and scored both times. First pitch to her is outside. 1-0 the count from Haley Cisco. The third pitcher here for the Eagles today. The 1-0 hit foul down the left field line and out of play. That'll even up the count at 1-1. 3 runs in the first, 3 in the second, 1 already here in the third for the Pioneers. Outside with that delivery from Cisco. 2-1 the count. Stay tuned after this game. We'll have game 4. And that'll be the Tigers of Chattanooga State and Walter State, the 2 and 3 seeds in this tournament. So that one ought to be a dandy as well. Again, we expect that game to be maybe pushed up from 5:30. So far, the last 2 games have been about 15 minutes early, so I've just jinxed it now that we'll push those up as that one's fisted again, fouled on the left side. The count remains 2-2. Again, haven't seen any emails come in yet. Jay hasn't notified me yet, but we've had a couple. So email circle to info@gametimesportsnetwork.com as that one sit into left field and up against the fence is Jada Moore making a fine play. Jada Moore going up against the fence to take away what is definitely double.
The next batter, the shortstop, number 29, Mally Grizzle.
That'll bring up Mally Grizzle, who flew to center, grounded to short, and hurt 2 official at bats. Great play there by Jada Moore. First pitch to Grizzle outside, 1-0 the count. That play by Moore probably saved a run, as Dixon runs well over at first. That pitch is promptly deposited into left field. Runners at first and second now with 2 out, and that'll bring up the third baseman, number 00, Maddie Shinton.
Now stepping into the batter's box, it's the third baseman, number 00, Maddie Shinton.
7-0 here in the bottom of the third, and Pioneers threatening for more. Outside with the first pitch, 1-0 the count. Good crowd on hand. A rather noisy crowd, but you got to like it. A lot of passion with these TCCAA fans. Maybe a little quieter on the Eagle side right now. That's hit into left field. And, folks, the ballpark will not hold that one, as Shinton just deposited that one into deep left center field. No doubt about that one, folks. A 3-run bomb. And just like that, it's 10-0, and that'll bring up the batter, first baseman Matty Goad.
The first baseman, number 5, Matty Goad.
As soon as that one was hit, the left fielder quit motioning or quit going after that one, as the ballpark would not hold that one. First pitch upstairs, 1-0 the count. Three in the first, 3 in the second, 4 here in the third, as that one's hit deep into left field. Can you say back-to-back Jack? Maddie Goad with another no-doubter, just about a foot and a half from the previous one as she deposits that one's in nearly the same spot. And just like that, it's 5 runs here in this third inning. And it looks like Emily Gilstrap is coming out of the dugout to talk to her pitcher, Haley Cisco. My goodness gracious. Third inning here and an offensive explosion from the Pioneers. A lot of jumping and hollering and excitement, except for Christian Lynn. He is cool as the other side of the pillow down there at third base. He has not.
Number 1, Anaya Dawson.
He has yet to show any emotion, but internally he's got to be pretty happy right now. Anaya Dawson up. Takes the first pitch in there for a strike. 11-0 Pioneers. The 0-1 delivery. Outside, evens up the count at 1-1. The cheering continues, definitely on the Pioneers side. Swung on, rolled over to the first baseman. Up with it is Davidson. She makes the play for the third out in the inning.
That will conclude the bottom of the third inning.
But not before.
Pioneers put 5 runs across to make it 11-0 Volunteer State.
5 runs on 4 hits for the Pioneers. We'll take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have the top of the 4th inning. More TCCAA action here on the Game Time Sports Network. We'll be
As a first-generation college student, estaba un poco nerviosa. I knew I would need extra support, but I didn't know where to find it. At Roan State, I have a success coach to help me with every step along the way. Para más información, visita la página roanstate.edu.
Welcome back, folks, here as you saw that commercial from Roan State. The Raiders. Several of our colleges giving us some commercials for us to run here on the Game Time Sports Network. Thank you all for joining us here on the Game Time Sports Network. Again, if you miss it, our word of the game, circle. So if you send an email to info@GameTimeSportsNetwork.com, that's info@GameTimeSportsNetwork.com, you'll be eligible for our drawing. First pitch to Ella Adair, the designated player, over but low. 1-0 the count. And again, that drawing will happen here at the conclusion of the tournament. That one's hit over to the right side. Up with it quickly is Cotton, and in time for the out. 4-3 if you're scoring with me at home on the play.
Batter is number 13, the left fielder, Blair Riley.
Blair Riley now due up for the Eagles. She singled her first time up. Eagles have threatened, but have yet to come and push across a run yet. 11-0 Pioneers. 3 in the first, 3 in the second, 5 in the third. Davis throws that one by her. 1-1 the count to Blair Riley. Swung on, hit to the third baseman. Up with it is Melton. Across the diamond to Davidson, and in time for the out. Actually, as Goad, rather. Shinton up
batter.
with it to Goad.
The second baseman, number 4, Caitlin Cotton.
Sorry about that, folks. So Shinton up with it quickly over to Goad for the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up Caitlin Cotton, who grounded into a double play, hit over to the first baseman, her first time up. Swung on and promptly served into center field for a hit. Good piece of hitting by Cotton. And that'll bring up Macy Calhoun, who was hit
Now
by a
batting
pitch.
For Dyersburg State, the catcher, number 22, Macy Calhoun.
Calhoun hit by a pitch her first time up. Swung on and fisted foul. $11-0. Pioneers certainly making a statement here in this tournament so far. Dyersburg defeated Roan State yesterday 8-2 to get to this game. Swung on and missed, but it looks like unless Dyersburg State can do something dramatic, looks like they will be playing the Green Jays of Jackson State tomorrow at 10 a.m. unless something dramatic happens. Pioneers will stick around after this game if they hold on. That one fisted foul at the plate. They'll stick around because the game that's following this one, Chat State and Walter State will do battle. And they will play the winner of that game. Volunteer State is showing their muscles. Well, they are ranked 18th in the nation in the National Junior College Athletic Association. So no mystery as to why they're having some success here, as that one's fisted back and out of play, and we'll do the full count again. Pioneers certainly putting their stamp on this tournament so far, as that one's hit to right field. Maddie Goad says, "No, ma'am, you're not getting past me." Snags that one out of
The top of the inning comes to a close.
again. The Eagles threaten but come up empty. We played 3.5. We'll go to a commercial break.
Another reminder
On the Game Time Sports Network, we'll have more TCCAA action here in just a minute.
As a first-generation college student, estaba un poco nerviosa. I knew I would need extra support, but I didn't know where to find it. At Roan State, I have a success coach to help me with every step along the way. Para más información, visita la página roanstate.edu.
All right. Welcome back, folks, here as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Pioneers in full control of this game. They have scored 3 in the first, 3 in the second, 5 here in the third, and now in the fourth inning. They will send up 7, 8, 9 in their order, in their batting order rather, as Haley Cisco continues in the circle for the Eagles.
Leading off the inning for the Lady Pioneers, it's number 2, Caitlin Dillard.
Caitlin Dillard was pinch hit for previously, and she re-enters. She takes the first pitch outside. 1-0 the count. In there for a strike. Good delivery there by Cisco. Evens up the count at 1-1. Squares the bunt, does Dillard. Pulls back, but it was a strike either way. 1-2 the count. $11-0 Pioneers. That one hit back up the middle. Cisco had a glove on it, bounced off her glove, and I think popped her in the face. We'll look to make sure she's okay. She gives a thumbs up like everything's okay. I think they're going to give an error on the pitcher, so E1.
The batter now, the catcher, number 7, Kylie Irwin.
That'll bring up Kylie Irwin, who's singled, doubled, and scored twice. She lifts that first pitch into left field, so F7 if you're scoring with me at home for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up Kirsten Smith. Kirsten.
The next batter is the designated player, number 9, Kirsten Smith.
Kirsten has struck out and walked in her 2 plate appearances, came around to score in the 3rd inning. Fist that one foul over towards the dugout. 0-1 the count. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Eagles in the top of the 5th must score 4 or this game will end. Next pitch is in there. Oh my goodness, I thought she was out, but the coach, or the umpire rather, said no, it'll go as a stolen base. A lot of additional discussion going on with the fans. Eagle fans really wanted that one. From our vantage point, it looked like they may have a gripe. But the umpire, who was right on top of that, so giving credit there, he saw something differently. The tag was up on her, so the foot may have beat her in there as that one served into left center field. Unable to come up with it were the Eagles, and scampering all the way around to score is Dillard. So it'll go as a single. And another run scored.
The top of the order with the second baseman, number 15, Alyssa Dixon.
Alyssa Dixon, who's walked, singled, and flew out to left field in her 3 appearances, 1 for 2 officially. First pitch to her is high. The breaks are certainly with the Pioneers right now. Hit over to the shortstop. She can't come up with it. It'll go as another error. Nothing doing right for the Eagles right now.
The next batter for Volunteer State is the center fielder, number 77, Abby Merle.
Abby Merle, who singled twice, flew to center, and scored twice. Officially 2 out of 3 in this game. It's 12-0. She squares the bunt and pulls it back. 1-0 the count here. Runners at first and second here. And the Pioneers threatening for more. They've scored 1 already to make it 12-0. The 2-0. Bunted up past the third base side. And they're going to say, so this is a good call by the umpire. Abby Merle was out of the batter's box when she bunted that ball And so they're going to call the batter out. So that's a great call by the umpire. Her foot was outside of the batter's box when she made contact with the ball. And so, therefore, he's calling that actually a foul ball. So 1-1 the count. Yeah, I thought he signaled the out call. There's the bunt down the third base line, but foul. It'll go 2-2 rather, the count now. So still a little confusion on my part. I thought he had called the out call with that. So it looked like her foot was out of the batter's box when she made contact, but the ball may have hit her as she was coming out of the batter's box. So that may have been the call. She takes that one outside. Does Merle. Full count now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out here in the inning with runners at first and second. The payoff pitch. Hit over to second base. Up with it quickly. And they're going to say her foot did not maintain the bag with the third baseman. But Coach Dusty is not happy about that. He is calling. He's going to ask for help with that. I think he may have a beef on that one. The first base umpire called safe. He said that the home plate umpire agreed with Dusty, and so it'll be a 4-3 put out. So good call, good job by the umpire and crew getting together to make sure they had the call right. So now we'll have runners at second and third with 2 out. And that was fisted into left field and over the head of the left fielder. 2 more runs will score. And my goodness. Three runs here in the 6th, or in the 4th inning, rather. And now it looks like Ella Gilstrap will come in and make a pitching change here. It looks like number 3, Ellen Adair, will come in to pitch.
Now entering the pitching circle for the Lady Eagles, it's number 3, Ellen Adair.
As you just heard, public address announcer Jay Harper, who you're used to listening to, announce Ellen Adair in relief, the 4th pitcher for the Eagles here. She'll get a couple of warm-up pitches. 3 in the first, 3 in the second, 5 in the third, and 3 here in the 4th inning. It is 14-0 Pioneers. Again, credit to the umpiring crew. The first base umpire called the runner safe, and from his vantage point, it looked like the first baseman, Davidson, had picked her foot up. He made the call, which is what you're supposed to do, and then Dusty came out to question, and then they got together, and the home plate umpire said, no, she maintained her foot on the bag, and they reversed the call. So good job by the umpires there. That pitch hits Shenton. Now there's runners at first and second, and that'll bring up Maddie Goad.
Stepping into the batter's box, the first baseman, number 5, Maddie Goad.
Shenton was hit. She deposited a huge home run. And then Goad, her last time up, she deposited one in nearly the same spot. Hit in the right field. The second baseman goes back, so F4 on the putout as the inning comes to an end, but not before the Pioneers scrape across 3 more runs on 2 hits, an error, and 2 left on base. We've played 4, 14-0.
We will now transition
Pioneers.
to the top of the 5th inning.
We'll stay here.
3 more runs coming across for the Lady Pioneers to make it 14-0. It appears we have a new pitcher in the circle for the Lady Pioneers. Number 21, Courtney Dinrider.
Courtney Dinrider is now in the circle now. Like I said, Courtney Dinrider now in the circle for the Pioneers. For the Eagles, they've got nothing to lose here, so they're going to be swinging. They must score 7 to keep this game going, or the Pioneers will advance. Again, it looks like the Pioneers will play tomorrow at 3 o'clock.
Leading off the top of the 5th inning, it's
and the Eagles will play Jackson State, the Green Jays, tomorrow morning
number 6,
at 10 a.m. But we have to finish this inning right here to see if that holds, as Watkins takes the first pitch in there for a strike. 0-1. Pitch off the plate, 1-1 the count. The 1-1 pitch swung on and missed. That'll go 1-2 on the count. Dinrider with the 1-2 delivery. Watkins checked her swing and held. That'll push the count to 2-2. Dinrider ready to go with the 2-2 delivery. Off the plate, full 3-2 the count now. Game 4 today will happen after this one. It'll be the Tigers of Chattanooga State and the Senators out of Walter State. The 2 and 3 matchup. After this game concludes. Ball 4 to Watkins. And that'll bring up Madison Lanier, the shortstop.
The next batter is the shortstop, number 14, Madison Lanier.
Appreciate everybody joining us here. Bill Conley with the Game Time Sports Network. The yang to Jay Harper's yin, if you will, and the broadcasting of how we do business here. Jay giving him a break. One of the hardest working guys in sports. Giving me a shot to broadcast with him for him a little bit. 1-1 the count. Dinrider delivers. Fisted into right field is Lanier. Under it is Dawson for the out. F9 on the putout.
The next batter is the first baseman, number 8, Brooklyn Davidson.
Brooklyn Davidson now due up. She takes the first pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. Runner at first, 1 out here in the 5th. Eagles down to their last opportunities here. Foul back and out of play, 1-2 the count. And again, if this score holds, Dyersburg will play Jackson State tomorrow at 10 a.m. And the Pioneers will play tomorrow and await the winner of the game that will immediately follow this one. The 1-2 delivery now from Denrider. Just off the plate. I tell you what, the Pioneer faithful wanted that call. But when you're up 14, you don't lobby for pitches. But you can't tell that to passionate fans. Swung on and missed. Davison goes down on strikes. Denrider with the K.
The next batter for the Lady Eagles, the center fielder, number 18, Jada Moore.
Now Jada Moore, who singled her last time up, grounded to first, her first time, 1 for 2 on the day, potentially could be the last opportunity for the Eagles here. The delivery inside. 1-0 the count. 14-0. Pioneers, 3 in the first, 3 in the second, 5 in the third, and 3 in the fourth. Is how they have scored their runs. They've done it with the long ball. They played the small ball. They've just done everything well. They've pitched themselves into trouble and then gotten out of it with their defense. So everything clicking on the Pioneer side. The 1-1 delivery. Swung on and missed by Moore. 1-2, and the Eagles are potentially down to their last strike here in this winner's bracket game. We'll have Chat State and Walters State immediately following this one. We'll take a little break. The 1-2 is high, evens up the count at 2-2. No word yet on a start time potentially. We'll wait till this one concludes. It currently is scheduled for 5:30, but something tells me we may push that up a little bit. Swung on and hit back and out of play. That'll even up the count at 2-2. Not sure if Jay's going to run down to the dugout for any kind of interviews or anything like that, but I think he just gave me the side to east and west nod, so we will not have interviews after this game. That one was fouled back and out of play. Denrider has the count to 2-2 and on the verge of closing this game out for the Pioneers. The 2-2 delivery from Denrider. Here it is. Hit into left field. On her horse is Abby Merle. She corrals it for the out. Moore gave it a ride, but comes up empty, and it is your final score, 14-0.
As the number 1 seed, Lady Pioneers of Volunteer State come away with another victory, 14-0. The Dyersburg State Lady Eagles, they will continue to play on, however. You can check the TCCAA website for further information on that.
As you hear Jay Harper talking about right now, Dyersburg State.
Information on that for you.
Dyersburg will play
Dyersburg
tomorrow.
State will be playing tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. when they face the number 6 seed Jackson State Green Jays, who won earlier today. Stand by. We will have our nightcap, for lack of a better term. The Chat State Tigers facing the Walter State Senators. That would be Lady Tigers and Lady Senators. 5:30 is when it is scheduled. However, something tells us that that game may indeed be moved up. So stand by. Also keep in mind, Game Time Sports
sign off for now. And or so.